What is up, XRP community? Welcome back to another video. At the end of this, I have a clip that I believe to be the most important video you will see in 2022. It's from 1983, but it basically perfectly outlines what's going on right now with our media, the truth, and a lot of stuff that you're being lied to about. A lot of bad news coming out about Ripple in the XRP lawsuit, because a lawsuit very similar to the Ripple lawsuit, the Liberty case, got a really bad ruling today, and the SEC won this lawsuit. Guys, keep in mind though, just about 2 weeks ago, tweet from the general counsel of Ripple, 18 months and 6 court orders later, right? They didn't order the SEC one time. They didn't order them 2 times. They ordered them 6 times to get the Hinman docs, the internal SEC emails and drafts from his famous 2018 speech. While they remain confidential for now, because the SEC doesn't want people to see these, I can say that it was well worth the fight to get them. All right, so a lot of bad stuff coming out. I just want to keep you guys grounded in the reality. We still have a big winning racehorse, I believe, with the Hinman documents, and we'll just have to see going forward what happens. Guys, I don't know if you believe in conspiracy theories or MK Ultra, but check out this clip of Katy Perry. It doesn't have anything to do with XRP, but a lot of people in the XRP community are free thinkers, people that form their own opinions. I'm not sure what to deduce from this video, but watch Katy Perry's eye, her left eye. This kind of went viral yesterday, and she claims it's a prank. Okay. And she almost looks like she's uncomfortable. She's freaking out. She's not smiling. She's not trying to be flirtatious by any means. She just looks confused and kind of out of it. And then after it, she just moves on. Right? And she claims it's a prank. I don't really know what to think of it. You guys deduce what you want. Really quick tweet from blockchain backer. Really just goes to show the manipulation and how all this stuff's a lie. Crypto market cap for the past 200 days has been fighting this 200-day moving average. 200-day moving average typically is a very big area of support or resistance. Last April, we rejected the 200-day moving average, and we finally got back to that 200-day moving average, okay? And look what happened the past 2 days after we get to this moving average, and you tell me if this is coincidence. One day after we get to the 200-day moving average, CZ Binance, the CEO of Binance, attacks the CEO of FTX. And opinions, regardless of your opinions, if he was in the right or the wrong, a lot of people think what he's doing is not actually a bad thing because they're not fans of Sam Bankman-Fried, the CEO of FTX. But he's basically causing FTX, this exchange, to liquidate a lot of their crypto assets. And people are thinking it could be the next Luna. All right. And then yesterday, or maybe this was today, the second day after we get back to this 200-day moving average, we have bullish potential. We could potentially start going back up if we can break this 200-day moving average. There was the ruling in this Liberty lawsuit, another SEC lawsuit, very similar to the Ripple lawsuit, a little bit. Liberty's legal team, though, keep in mind, I wouldn't compare them to Ripple's legal team. Ripple has a much more robust legal team. They have a lot more assets, a lot more capital to fight this. But it was a bad ruling for all cryptocurrencies, not just Ripple, not just Liberty. Essentially, it doesn't matter if your token has any utility. It's a security. So how in the world does anyone launch a public blockchain now? Interesting times we're living in, guys. Crypto is truly under attack. And both of these events happen magically at the same time we reach the 200-day moving average. You decide if that's real or if it's just a coincidence. And if you guys have Twitter, give me a follow on Twitter. The link to my Twitter's in the video description below. And Ed Snowden tweeted this out. I kind of took his words. That it's the most important video of this year was filmed in 1983. This is a CIA employee. And listen to what he says. It's kind of crazy to think this isn't an interview.
You briefed the press, did you not, when you were there?
Well, I had several jobs. One of my jobs was that of analyst. I also was an interrogator and indeed briefed the press when we, the CIA, wanted to circulate disinformation on a particular issue. Disinformation is not necessarily a lie. It may be a half-truth. And we would pick out a journalist. I would go do the briefing and hope that he would put the information in print. For instance, if we wanted to get across to the American public that the North Vietnamese were building up their force structure in South Vietnam, I would go to a journalist and advise him that in the past 6 months, X number of North Vietnamese forces had come down the Ho Chi Minh Trail system through southern Laos. Now, there is no way a journalist can check that information. So either he goes with the information or he doesn't, and ordinarily or usually the journalist would go with it because it looked like some kind of exclusive. And I would say our percentage planning that kind of data was 70 to 80%. The correspondents we targeted were those who had terrific influence, the most respected journalists in Saigon, like Robert Chaplin of the New Yorker magazine, Kai's Beach of the Los Angeles Times from time to time, and also he worked for the Chicago Daily News. Bud Merrick of U.S. News and World Report, Malcolm Brown of the New York Times, even Maynard Parker of Newsweek magazine. We would go after these gentlemen. I would be directed to cultivate them, to spend time with them at the Caravel Hotel or the Continental Hotel, to socialize with them, and slowly but surely to try to gain their confidence by dolloping out valid information which was true. And then I would drop into a conversation the data that we wanted to get across which might not be true. One piece of data, for instance, that we managed to plant in the New Yorker magazine had to do with a supposed North Vietnamese effort in 1973 to develop airfields along the border of South Vietnam. The reason we wanted to plant this information was that we were trying to persuade the U.S. Congress that Saigon should continue to get a great deal of aid, and that the North Vietnamese were the chief violators of the ceasefire accord. That was printed in the New Yorker magazine under the byline of Robert Chaplin, as indeed was a great deal of such information which we tried to circulate. If I planted a piece of information with a reporter, I would ordinarily then try to create an environment in which he could not check the information. I would go to the British ambassador and brief him on the disinformation I had just given the reporter. So when the reporter wanted to cross-check what I'd told him with, say, the British ambassador, New Zealand ambassador, or what have you, he would get false confirmation, the same message coming back at him. He'd say, aha, I've got proof that Frank Snepp told me the truth, when in fact what he'd gotten was simply an echo of what I'd given him in the first place via the British ambassador or other of our friendly diplomatic contacts. I am, as an ex-CIA agent, opposed to the disinformation activities in which I was involved. I admit that I was involved, and I think it served no useful purpose. Propagandizing the American public or Congress is not the CIA's job.
Thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. God bless you all. Until next time.